Hello, ladies and gentlemen. I bet you weren't expecting this. This is not a podcast. This is, in fact, a little bonus video looking at the Comic-Con, the Series 13 Doctor Who Comic-Con presentation that has actually just taken place as we record this. We're recording this on the Sunday night. And yeah, some big details revealed about Series 13, and I'm not sure how to feel about some of them.
I know how to feel about some of them.
Talking about Christians.
And there goes my eardrums.
It's okay, you don't need those. Because if you had those, then you would have to hear Chibnall's terrible writing.
Oh, okay. Listen, I gotta admit, as we're recording here, there is a bit of relief because this Comic-Con trailer teased a special guest.
A super secret special guest.
Who the entire internet assumed would be David Tennant, which would have been frankly horrifying to me. Not that David Tennant was a bad Doctor Who. He was a very good Doctor Who. He was also Doctor Who over a decade ago.
Yeah, he's done. He's done.
And bringing him back like this, I don't know what they would have done, but thinking of it like that would play into what I mentioned back in the Series 12 retrospective. The combination of Jodie Whittaker's Doctor being hazily, muddily, ill-defined, and the fact that the Series 12 banked so heavily on Russell T Davies era nostalgia. Jadoon, Jack Harkness, and then the spin-off material, Time Lord Victorious, and at the time, Big Finish, Dalek Universe, all that. They had David Tennant show up all over the goddamn place, so it was very much like a, please come back! It's like
no, Frez. It's not a they had, it's they are. Because he's even appearing in the 13th Doctor's video game about Cybermen.
Oh my god.
Oh,
so,
perfect.
Yeah.
So they're still doing it.
Yeah, they're still doing it.
Okay, so it is a miracle then that we didn't get, hey everybody, LOZ, I'm back!
Pretty much, yeah.
There were two names that were thrown about as to who the special guest might be, and they were both terrible for very different reasons. David Tennant and John Barrowman.
Ugh.
John Barrowman. John Barrowman, film critic of M. Night Shyamalan.
Yes, in a big twist, the special guest was actually M. Night Shyamalan talking about his movie Old.
What a twist!
Oh Christ, Barrowman.
Haven't you heard, guys? The beach makes you old.
The beach makes you old? No. Actually, the special guest was
Jacob Anderson.
The guy who says "whoa."
The guy who says "whoa."
Game of Thrones actor who played Grey Worm, a fairly popular character in that series. Musician, he appeared with the Game Grumps, I think.
Aaron Hansen is now 2 degrees removed from Doctor Who. That's the world.
Oh dear God.
Yep.
If he shows up in a cameo, I might.
Also, I'm honestly terrified because they've already done the first Danganronpa game. If they go and start doing more of those and start doing Doctor Who stuff and start liking Doctor Who, I'm going to be just like, oh god, no, I can't like it anymore. Do you know how many series they've ruined for me?
I don't
a lot.
know.
I can imagine. I can imagine. But yeah,
There's so many things of theirs I can't watch anymore.
True.
Or ever.
So Anderson then is playing a new character called Vinder. And he's not a companion, but he will be a recurring character throughout Series 13.
Oh, good. Someone else for Chibnall to put
And
the
hey,
focus on instead
guys,
of Yes.
Why is it that he's going to be a reoccurring character again?
That's a very good question.
Is it maybe because of Series 13's entire plotline?
Yeah, guess what? We're going back to Trial of the Time Lord because Series 13 is one big interconnected story.
Dear God.
Oh,
come full circle.
My God.
We've come full circle. Chris Chibnall.
Have they learned nothing from that?
No, see, you remember what I said the last time we talked about this sort of Doctor Who stuff with Jodie's stuff? Where I said she was being Colin Bakered?
Yeah.
She's now literally being Colin Bakered.
Oh, dear God.
Yeah, so she is. I find it interesting, actually, that he's best known for Game of Thrones, although not just Game of Thrones, but Maisie Williams, also best known for Game of Thrones, playing a recurring guest role in Doctor Who in Series 9.
it was actually fun and good.
Oh, she was a really good character, but I'm just wondering if this
great,
might be the same thing, where he keeps showing up and he's really important to the story. Because Mita was super important to the story, didn't she?
He keeps showing up to take the focus off of Yaz.
Yay.
And we've already got John Bishop's character for
Dan
that. Yeah.
to do that.
Oh yeah.
I mean, God love John Bishop, but yeah.
They couldn't have. They shotgunned a new old white guy into that show so fucking fast. They probably got whiplash.
We also
and
got
you know what? From the very, very brief view we got of him and Yaz in the trailer, what I saw was Yaz was basically Rose, and then Dan was He Who Shall Not Be Named, aka just the comedy.
I thought Dan was Graham 2.0, but
I mean,
Graham was actually able to have serious moments, like when he found out he had cancer, and when.
Well, I think it's
Grace
unfair to judge Dan based on this trailer.
I know, but from the very little bit I've seen, it almost looks like he's going to be entirely comedy, and I don't want that.
They certainly do play him up as a comedy character in the trailer, which is about, what, 35 seconds, and two of the major shots are repeated, so...
Yeah,
it's not much of a trailer to talk about. They only show
this is the Chibnall era we're talking about, where spoiler phobia
He is very spoiler phobic.
And it's like, I'm fine with that. It's the one good thing we could say about Chibnall is that he's not going to spoil stuff for us. But maybe actually give us something.
I mean, credit to him, because none of this had leaked out beforehand. Jacob Edison was actually a huge surprise. Because the trailer doesn't really show much. It shows our main cast of characters, the Doctor, Yaz, and Dan. It shows Vinda. It shows a few action shots, and that's about it, really. There are no returning monsters. There are no new monsters that we can really make out in the footage. And they pad the trailer by replaying the first shot at the end, because they love doing that on American trailers for some strange reason at the moment. And that's about it.
Here's your scraps coming back sometime this year.
I'm happy we're getting something at least after 7.5 months of nothing.
Yeah.
But you could have given us a bit more. And they did in the panel, they did talk a bit about Series 13 and what you could expect. And they did reveal that there are going to be 3 returning monsters. Because they couldn't keep that one just as a surprise for the audience. One we can already guess is the Daleks.
Is another one the Cybermen?
No.
Oh, thank God.
No, these are 2 monsters that haven't been on Doctor Who as the main focus of an episode for a while.
The Chumbleys?
One was in the prison of Revolution of the Daleks.
No, not the Angels.
Yep.
Fuck.
And the other is the Sontarans.
Oh, for the love. Yep, there you go. That's the RTD nostalgia machine.
Well, we're not seeing the Sontarans in their own plot since Series 4.
Oh, it's not even just RTD. Now he's starting to move on to Moffat.
So that feels at least a little bit fresh, but the Angels...
Moffat wrote them, but,
When we did our Angels podcast, I think we said,
Moffat made the Angels.
The Angels are diminishing returns. Every time they come back, they lose a little bit of their luster, a little bit of their lore.
Yeah. Plus, the last time we had them, it was enough. It was the end of Amy and Rory, and, that was a beautifully... the whole thing wasn't perfect, because I thought that the Statue of Liberty Angel was stupid, but it was still a perfect end to sort of both Amy and Rory and the Angels.
And I do have to make a bit of a confession. I actually knew already about the Angels and the Sontarans being back.
What? Betrayal?
No, because some filming photos leaked. I wasn't telling you.
Right.
I didn't want to spoil you.
So here's the thing about the Weeping Angels. As we discussed, them coming back really depends on the concept, because Moffat, he turned them from just a horror icon with rules to some sort of fucked up alchemy. Like,
the Statue of Liberty is an angel now. Why? Don't question it. It's just an angel now.
Well, yeah. That's a weird one. I know we can bring that up, but I'm talking about the 2-parter in Series 5, Just he went full magical alchemy with the angels, which is an interesting direction to go. So I don't know what direction Chibnall will go with them. There's no guarantee it's Chibnall writing it. I don't know who's going to write the story.
I have a basic idea of how it's going to go, and it's probably not going to be good. And the only reason I say this is because when it comes to reoccurring monsters, in any show, really, you have to get bigger and better every single time you show them. Because we've already seen the hero defeat them once. It's, commonplace for them to be able to be defeated again. That's why people do stuff like, oh, I found this magical MacGuffin that makes me grow to 5 times my size, and now I'm more powerful, and they have to figure that out. It's like, we're fighting against Thanos, and now he's here again, and, bigger and better, and stuff like that.
Right. Power creep.
Yeah. So that's, one of the reasons why, they did the angels the way they do them, because it's like, how do we increase the angels? Okay, so they teleport around, that's already really scary. What if there's a lot more of them? And what if they could turn you into an angel? That sounds really scary.
Yeah.
And then what if we make it giant, and they trapped you inside a building for all of time until you died? And you saw your own death and caused a paradox or something like that. That sounds even scarier.
I think I would say this story would probably go back to basics with the angels. One could hope. I say that because, again, my grand conspiracy theory is that this is just an RTD era nostalgia fest, and that's how they were in Blink. They were just some statues that got you and sent you back in time.
Again, one can hope, but may I remind you, the Recon Dalek.
Oh god, I just had a horrible thought. What if the angels are the reason why Vinda keeps showing up in the series?
Oh, Jesus.
It's just the fact that he went in and he changed a lot about the Daleks does not give me any sort of hope that he's not going to do something to the angels.
As for the Santarans, well, you know what you were saying about how each villain reappearance has to be bigger and better?
Yeah.
We haven't done any Santaran story. Well, we have done the 2 Doctors. But I'm going to tell you, with the Santarans, for their appearances in the classic show, they completely fucked that up.
I would argue that Santarans are doing better in the modern era than in the classic.
I mean, they got one focus, and then Moffat was just like, here's a comedy Santaran. Here, have a funny one.
I would say RTD's one Santaran... Well, he didn't write it, but his one Santaran story in his era did an awful lot to rehabilitate them as villains.
It was fine.
I think it's underrated. I don't think it's terrible at all.
That's what I said. Fine.
I mean, some people think it's one of the weakest stories of Series 4. It's like, really, though? I mean...
Oh, no.
I mean...
Oh, no. I just had a horrible thought.
Oh, what? We keep having this.
What if Chibnall brings in Strax?
No, he won't do that.
I mean, I couldn't trust him to write him properly.
Yeah, but remember, he's taking from everybody else.
He will probably... Whoever it is, he'll probably be played by Dan Starkey, because Dan Starkey just plays every Santaran now.
I am absolutely terrified that he's going to bring back Strax and ruin him, and I'm not happy with that.
Chibnall is not going to fuck with the Moffat era. Chibnall doesn't know the Moffat era fucking exists. If he did, he would have actually mentioned Missy in Series 12.
If he did, he wanted to destroy fucking Gallifrey.
Don't set me off. Don't set me off.
Oh, it's too late. We're already set off.
And the panel concluded, by the way, the last bit of information from the panel isn't really much. It's just a teaser. They were asked, Chibnall, Whittaker, Mandip Gill, and Bishop were all asked to sum up Series 13 in one word, describe it in one word. And the 4 words are riveting, inspirational, mysterious, and swarm.
Who said who?
I'm not quite sure who said who. I've not got the information of that, unfortunately.
Swarm.
But
someone legit said swarm.
Yeah, that's interesting.
Please tell me that was Chibnall.
I hope that was Chibnall, because it sounds like him.
I will find out.
If it was someone
later,
else,
but...
I'd be disappointed.
I mean, honestly, I would peg Chibnall saying inspirational also. So it's 50.
I think Mandip Gill probably said inspirational. Anyway, whoever said it, those are the 4 keywords, and we've got all that to news until it comes out later this year, because that's the other big thing. The series is out later this year. It's not been delayed to 2022.
Cool.
Although, given how the last series ended, maybe they should delay it to 2022.
I mean, I'm not even talking about quality. I mean, I'm just thinking of like, stay safe for fuck's sakes.
And I think it's 8 episodes, not 10. It was thought that was because of the pandemic, but maybe it's because of this whole, it's all one story thing.
I mean, the pandemic also.
Maybe it was intentional as well, though. I mean, maybe they're just happy coincidence. I don't know.
Maybe it's also the fact that there's rumors that Jodie's leaving.
Yeah, and I did think maybe the special guest was going to be her successor. That would be awkward as hell.
That would be terrible.
I'm going to... Jodie Whittaker is going to unregenerate into me.
Don't give them ideas.
Ooh, better idea. She regenerates into Missy.
Yeah, now that I'd be down for.
Nah, see, here you go.
See, the only problem is then Chibnall has to write for her, and I'm not...
I'm no longer down for it.
Okay, I got one. She regenerates into Joe Martin.
Is the correct answer, but they won't.
They won't, I know, but correct answer.
I'm still so mad that we had Joe Martin in this series. In the past 2 series, past
series. She wasn't in series either.
I'm still so mad about that, just because she is so much better than Jodie's doctor. It's not Jodie's fault.
Yeah, in one story and a cameo at the end of The Timeless Children, she manages to upstage Jodie Whittaker.
Because she's fucking written well. That's all it takes.
Yeah.
I don't want Jodie to leave. I want Chibnall to leave.
Ideally,
seriously,
if it was Joe Martin in the ideal world, I would like the idea that the 13th Doctor regenerates into Joe Martin's Doctor to give her a proper chance that she can actually remember.
That's as good an excuse as any.
That's a good narrative excuse, isn't it?
It works. I can dig it. It's fine.
It won't be that.
I know.
No.
That, but
We don't have an idea who it's going to be.
We all know it's going to be another white man, or if anything, it's going to be a.
I really hope it's not. If it's another white, I really hope it's not another white man, because then that just gives all the bigots ammunition. Oh, they went right back. It's like
I hope at the very least it's a person of color, but
I've even heard
honestly,
suggestions that it should be Sasha
I
Dewan.
still think it's just going to be a man.
It would be kind of like that Ghostbusters movie, the one with the all-female cast from a couple years back, and how that got blasted to hell and back, and now they're making
the one I didn't see.
And now they're making like a new one that follows on the original.
But it's children.
Not even that. Apparently, it's their grandkids.
Yeah, it's children.
Yeah. So it's just like
hell?
What is it? Afterlife?
So now that movie. Yeah. So now that movie is forever just seen as this aberration. Oh, that's the non-canon Ghostbusters movie with the girls that was shit. Oh, here's the real Ghostbusters movie. Like, that's what would happen with Doctor Who and Jodie Whittaker.
Now, we all know the real non-canon Ghostbusters film was Ghostbusters 2.
Rain, please tell me you saw the clip I linked earlier today.
I saw the clip you linked earlier today, yeah.
Where they replaced the Stay Puft Marshmallow
How
Man
dare
with
you
Mr.
ruin that
Blobby.
film for all of time for me?
How did that thing get made for British children?
Because we are a strange country.
Now Kat is mirroring Jack Whitehall in the Big Fat Quiz. How the fuck were you allowed near kids?
That was not his accent at all. But that was closer to John Bishop, actually.
Radiac, please put the link to that video or tweet in the description.
You mean the blobby staple?
Yes.
Yeah, all right.
We're going to inflict it on as many people as possible.
The curse is spreading naturally.
You know what? Put Jack Whitehall.
Mr. Blobby lives.
Put Jack Whitehall reacting to Mr. Blobby on the Big Fat Quiz down there too.
If I can find that, it may have been pulled because they got kind of more sophisticated with the DMC and takedowns, but if I can find it.
And Rainiac put a link to Symphogear down there too.
I've watched part 3. I will never forgive you.
And put a flying burger.
You made it to episode 3 of Symphogear
from left to right.
I made it to episode 3. Why are you so surprised? It's not a bad show.
I'm surprised because you never said a word about it until now. That's why.
Because I was keeping it a surprise for this.
Okay, well, we'll talk about it later, but we should wrap up the
we
discussion.
should. So that's the information, all the information we have on Series 13. And we don't even know when it's coming out exactly. Just later this year. I want to think this is going to be great.
We can only hope.
But I have like this feeling of impending doom.
As long as we get a couple of good episodes that you can enjoy.
I mean, Jodie Whittaker and Mandip Gill both said that they were really excited to work on this series. It's some of the best stuff they've ever done. So maybe there's hope. You found it. Of course you found it.
Yeah, I found it. I love it too much.
Okay, well, now that we've scarred the audience for life, that was a little bonus video about the Comic-Con panel in Series 13. And we'll see you tomorrow
wait for us.
Oh, wait. Just one thing before we go. I'm just checking my DMs as we sign off. I opened the tab from Krista, and just in big, bold letters, sigh!
Yeah!
which I think should cap off the discussion.
Yeah, that's the perfect way to end it. So thank you for listening to our little bonus discussion of Series 13.
Yep.
And we'll see you tomorrow when the Kinder podcast should go up. Until then, bye for now.
Oh, and bye Back to the 11th Hour by Krista McTee.
Of course. Until then, bye for now.
I take 2 seconds just to shut my window because fucking motorbikes and cars will go.
Card games on motorcycles.
Card games on motorcycles.